Hey everyone, this is Mr. Michelson. As you can tell, I'm not here today. We want to make sure that we are respectful of our guests in the classroom, so please be good for the sub. Make sure that we just have classes normal and get our work done. I know a number of you still have to give your investigative reports. We're going to plan on doing that next class on Wednesday. We'll have some time for that to finish up those little speeches. So, today we've got a few things we're going to have you do. Before we get into them, I want to just tell you a little bit about a couple things that you should know, not just for today, but for really the rest of the year. A couple of notes that you don't need to really take any notes, but just listen along here and I'll explain. We're going to read something today that's going to involve pretty heavily mood. And when we talk about mood, we talk about the feeling that an author creates for the reader. So this is what you are experiencing emotionally as you are reading something. And oftentimes authors write in a way that tries to evoke that feeling in you. So that could be feelings of fear or feeling of pity or joy or sadness or a peaceful mood. Lots of different moods that you could create on the page as an author. You probably even did some of this as you were working on your um, version of the crime in which you read, which we are now grading. So we'll get those back to you as soon as we can. But mood is important. You're going to see that today, and we'll talk about that later this year as well and into our next unit. Another thing that you probably already know is simile. This is where you compare two things that are not like each other using the words like or as. This is different than a metaphor because it uses that word like or as. Something is like something, something is like something, or it's as another thing. So here's an example. The air freshener made the room smell like a forest. Okay. These kind of things will jump off the page at you if you're looking for them, or even if you're not looking for them. You can usually tell when someone is in writing comparing two things that typically wouldn't be compared to one another, but for whatever reason, there's this similarity between them, and we use a simile to kind of draw that comparison out. So look for that as we read it today. We're going to read a story, but before we do, I'd like you to get your writer's notebook if you haven't already done so. And I want you to write about either a frightening experience or an exciting experience that you've had. And before you begin writing, I want you to think about what mood you want to evoke in your reader. What sort of feeling do you want the reader to get from whatever you plan on writing? So think about your experience and then think about what the mood is. What did you feel in that experience? Either frightening or exciting. What was the mood? And see if you can get that out in your writing today, so that anyone who might read this might feel in a similar way to how you felt when you had this experience. Write your intended mood at the top of your page and use description to make your reader feel that way. We're going to give you about 7 minutes to do this, and then we'll have some time to share. And if you can't think of anything today from your own life, go ahead and just make something up. But make sure you have that intended mood that you're going for. All right, I'll let you get writing, and then you can get sharing after about 7 minutes.